Wow, dude. Look at that clickbait bullshit title. You know, I could probably reach 1 million subscribers too if I dumbed down my content this far, put 4 minutes of bullshit at the start of every video to stretch out the watch times, and then named every video in the most ridiculous clickbaity way I could think of. Apparently this kind of shit is what most people watch on YouTube, people. Humanity is doomed.
I'm gonna react to a video because a lot of people have been DMing me and showing me this video where like this racist guy saying something about, I don't know, it's something like, I haven't watched it yet.
You can always tell it's going to be an insightful and carefully considered commentary when you haven't even watched the video yet, and you've already decided that its creator is racist. That's quality, Adam.
Okay, so the video is called Refuting Islam with Their Own Quran. Censored.
Yes, my viewers, you all remember Amos Yee, the kid who's probably going to go to prison for years for insulting Islam? Well, guess who this Adam Saleh fellow has decided to pick on?
Alhamdulillah, it is I, Amos, with another episode of Amos Yee.
You know, I've never seen such a dopey-ass motherfucker as you in my entire life. And what's with the hat, dude? That thing's even bigger than mine. What's under there? Your conjoined twin who got all the brains? I'm gonna spare my audience another 20-odd seconds of you dribbling down your chin while Amos mocks the Quran. I'm gonna replace the Amos parts with the original clips so people can see them properly instead of your dumb fucking face.
I am fucking stoned.
Alright, first of all, what the heck? Like, this dude is he's stoned, he's high.
No, he's attempting to provoke the Singaporean government by claiming to have performed an action that's strongly looked down upon in his country to better expose the dictatorial nature of that government, which is generally what he does. You know, Adam, that was a good attempt at trying to process that satire, but for all your mental machinery you just damaged while you ground those gears, you failed.
What the heck is he doing? This is so ignorant, and I'm looking at it right now. This dude has 40,000 subscribers. He has a pretty decent amount of subscribers. It looks like he's a YouTuber, and he's disrespecting one of the biggest religions in the world.
Oh no! Oh my gosh! He's disrespecting a book? Oh, that poor book! How will it ever survive this humiliation? Poor little Quran. Will it ever be able to stop crying in the closet and burning itself?
There's even 7,000 thumbs up.
You sound surprised that people dislike your religion. You know, that didn't come out of nowhere, imbecile. Your attitude in this video, when it's shared in large enough numbers, makes people dislike any belief system. Try being a valuable member of society instead of ganging up to impose theocratic censorship, and maybe some people outside of your cult will have a slightly better opinion of said cult in the future. Anyway, you can thank me for bringing those few thousand rational people to balance out the rating, but now there are 15,000, or probably more by now by a long shot, irrational, freedom-hating, psychotic Muslims all over it. But not to worry, we'll even those ratings out again, so audience, if you wouldn't mind, please click the link to Amos's video in the description and thumb it up. Really, it doesn't even matter if you like Amos or his video or what he's said. This is about the principle, not the person.
7,000 thumbs up in this video. In the first 30 seconds, he's disrespected 1.6 billion people in the world.
No, he's disrespected one book. It just happens to be a book that's liked inordinately much by inordinately many people, especially when you consider its quality. And if that was too complicated for you, what it means in simpler words is the Quran is shit. By the way, it doesn't suddenly become wrong to ridicule a ridiculous idea just because a lot of people believe it. So your appeal to popularity is also shit.
Islam teaches good morals, sexism. But those wives from whom you fear arrogance, first advise them, then if they persist, forsake them in bed and find—
Hold up. What is this freaking ratchet boy with a weave saying? Like, he just translated the most BS of the Quran.
I agree. It's a very poor interpretation of that verse. I'm not exactly sure where he got rape from the word forsake, because that's not what that means. See, Adam, when you're right, I will tell you you're right. Keep that in mind for the rest of the video.
In Islam, anyone who rapes anyone would get stoned to death. That is not allowed in Islam. Raping anyone is not allowed in Islam.
Oh, so you actually believe Islam says to stone people to death? Well, that's, Neat.
Slavery and rape. O prophet, we have made lawful to thee thy wives to whom thou hast paid their dowers, and those slaves whom thy right hand possesses out of the prison.
Alright, so this weird kid who's on something right now, basically what he's doing, he's taking out stuff from the Quran and he's making it seem really bad by translating it into his own.
So you want us to believe he's quote mining. There's a bit of trouble with that though, which obviously is that there's no context which can justify the Quran's unambiguous statement that the Prophet and the believers can take wives from among the female prisoners of war, or in other words, they can take sex slaves. Or is the missing context that you're worried about the fact that it goes on to proclaim that Muhammad can fuck his first cousins?
The Prophet, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to free slaves, he used to help slaves, he used to eat with slaves.
Okay, citation needed, but even if I take you completely at your word, that does nothing to change the fact that when he made up his rules, you know what, I'm gonna give you the full benefit of the doubt here. When God revealed his rules to Muhammad, he included the right for Muslims, including Muhammad, to turn female prisoners of war into sex slave wives. That's what it says, that's what it is. Muhammad's treatment of slaves doesn't change what either he or God dictated would be written in the Quran. And since the Quran, and not Muhammad's treatment of his slaves, is the subject of Amos's video, all you're trying to do is distract people with irrelevant bullshit so they'll leave you alone on this topic. Sorry pal, it ain't gonna work.
So I don't know what this dude is saying, we're all slaves.
I would just like to take this opportunity to remind my audience of how despicably anti-human this religion really is. Thank you.
With that line he said, which is in the Quran saying having slaves is fine, I'm gonna show you guys in the Quran the real way.
You're gonna show us the real way to read the same thing he just read? Alright, bro, go for it.
He doesn't even deserve to hold the Quran or for Quran to be even that close to him.
It's a stack of paper held together with glue. Calm yourself.
This is in the same surah of that line, so it connects with it. He's just taking it out, trying to make it into a negative, because that's what ignorant people do.
Yeah, ignorant people do take quotes out of context. So the quote you're about to read is from the same surah that you're replying to, is it? So it's from Surah 33?
And it says, worship Allah and join none with Him, and do good to parents, and those slaves whom your right hand passes.
That's from Surah 4, verse 36 to be precise. If that's showing up in Surah 33 in your copy, I think you need to get a better one. Oh, and it's right hands possess, not right hand passes. You really don't know what all these big words mean, do you?
Are you listening, Agent Lion King? It says, do good. Do good, and it has slaves in there, it has masakin, the needy.
And apparently, in the author's opinion, doing good includes rape. Look, if you haven't figured out by now just how incredibly fucked up the Quran's definition of good is, then there's still hope for you, but not much.
Do me gang, there is some parts in this video where it is absolutely insane. Like, he said some crazy, I do not even want to put it. I do not even want to show, because it's so ignorant. I do not even want you guys to hear it. So I'm gonna skip some of it that he's saying.
Yeah, don't skip it because, you know, you don't want to respond to it or it's boring. Nah, skip it because you think your audience is too weak and hyper-emotional to handle mean things being said about a fucking book. To be fair, it's true. Depressingly true. Go watch my 23-minute video scrolling through the fucked up comments from the first 11 hours after your video came out.
Since Allah said it, I now know that it is a fact that women are lower than me. I never liked women. Women smell weird and they have vaginas.
In Islam, we respect women. Heaven lies under our mother's feet, and our mothers is what? Women. Women go through so much. They go through so much, and we would never, ever disrespect women in any kind of ways.
I don't know you, Adam, so I'm going to assume the best about you personally. But your personal attitude does not change what's written in the book. It also doesn't change the fact that a lot of Muslims take that horribly sexist book way more seriously and literally than you apparently do, and they disrespect women in a great many ways. Now, unless you literally live in a bubble, you and your followers are perfectly aware of this. Stop pretending like you just have no idea what people are talking about.
Islam is the religion of peace.
Yes, Islam means peace.
No, the Arabic word Islam literally means submission. That's the literal translation. Seriously, how the fuck does your head not explode from the hypocrisy when you complain about other people's translations and then skew translations to suit your own narrative? Or do you just genuinely not know even the most common Arabic words, including the meaning of the name of your fucking religion? If that's the case, then you'd think that if you really believed that this book really has unimaginable cosmic significance and relevance to the eternal destination of your soul, you might bother to sign up for a couple of courses in Arabic and try to read it in the original.
Unbelievers' garments of fire shall be cut, and there shall be poured over their heads boiling water, whereby whatever is in their bowels and skin.
This... Bro, it's lucky it's the month of Ramadan right now, man, but...
So that means if it weren't Ramadan, you'd travel to Singapore to punch a 17-year-old kid for reading out loud how the Quran describes hell. I thought you liked the Quran. Why are you complaining about the fact that it contains this passage?
It basically says if you're an unbeliever, which is you're going to hell. That's what it says. If you're an unbeliever, you're going to hell. But he translated it and made it seem like it's a whole violent, like, whoa, so crazy. It's not. It really isn't.
Dude, he didn't translate it himself, for fuck's sake. Okay, so explain this to me. Infinite punishment in the sickest, most brutal, painful, disgusting way imaginable by the worst human mind. How is that not violent? Did you see that video of ISIS burning the pilot in the cage? Because I did. I would show it here, but it's way, way too violent for YouTube, man. But it's out there, so I recommend you look it up. And if that thing doesn't make you cringe, then there's something really, really, really wrong with you. Now, imagine that repeated, but on a scale of billions of people, and then take that level of atrocity and multiply it by infinity because it never ends. And now realize that supposedly Allah created the universe, including humans, knowing exactly what he was creating and how it would end up. He had the option, before even creating anyone, to predict the fact that all of these billions of people were going to end up in hell, and say, no, that won't do. I am not that kind of a god. I will not have anyone ending up in hell. This is horrible. And he could have changed the way he created it so that no one ever went to hell. What that means is that anyone who goes to hell under your theology was created specifically to go there. That is why they were created, and they had no way at all to avoid it, because God made that decision for them based on how he created them. What I'm trying to get across to you is that the passage Amos cited actually describes a scenario of literally infinite violence and cruelty, because that's the whole point of the concept of hell. And you fucking sick-minded prick, you just tried to downplay it by saying, but it doesn't say anything violent, it just says you're going to hell. Gross, dude.
In Islam, you get so many chances, you get forgiven so many times. Allah is the most forgiving.
Okay, cool, so once I'm dead and I'm standing before Allah, and I finally learn that he actually exists, is he gonna give me a chance to say, Allah, I didn't know. I didn't see any evidence for you in the world, my disbelief was sincere, I just didn't know. And he would say, don't worry. I created you, and I knew that you weren't going to see me in the world. So come, my child, join me in heaven. Is that how it works with this merciful God who gives us so many chances? I mean, if he gives us so many chances, surely he gives us the only one that's actually relevant to this discussion, right? No? I thought not.
Chapter 17, verse 15, it says, we never punish until we have sent a messenger to give warning, which means all the unbelievers will get a message. And then you'll realize, oh, well, Allah just gave me a warning for me to get close to him. So that's what it means.
Alright, whatever. You know, believe it or not, that's never happened to me. But hey, maybe it'll happen the moment before my death and I'll have the opportunity to make the choice right then. Whatever. That's all beside the point. The point is that even if you have absolute certainty that Allah exists, and you say, no thanks, I don't want anything to do with you, that is not a justification for infinite torture. Imagine if I put a gun to your head and then said, suck my dick right now or I'm gonna blow your brains out. And then you refuse to do it, and I blow your brains out. Well, hey, I warned you, right? That makes it all okay, right? By the way, the answer to that is supposed to be obvious, but you actually think hell is okay, so the answer is no, it's not fucking okay. Now, multiply how bad that situation is by infinity, and really that's what you can do for any of these example situations, just multiply by infinity and you get hell. And now is it okay? By the way, the answer is no. I know this is a hard test for a Muslim, but, you know, that's why I'm giving you the answers. Why are you defending something this reprehensible? There is nothing that any human can ever do that would justify infinite punishment. Because anything a human does, even if it causes harm, can only ever cause finite harm. Please stop trying to justify the idea that there are crimes for which a punishment infinitely more severe than the crime is warranted. To consider something like that morally justifiable shows that you have absolutely no grasp on morality.
I'm done watching this video. I'm seriously done. I proved my point to him. To her. I proved my point.
I can't even.
It's all good. Allah Yahdi, you never know, this kid might change. But one thing I will do, I will report that video, and I suggest you guys who are watching right now, report that video.
Okay, and now we get to the reason I'm so pissed off. Freedom is the most important principle to me, especially freedom of speech. And as a result, this video is one of the most offensive videos I've ever seen. But I don't want my audience to report it. Audience, please, if you wish to express your disapproval with this video, use the built-in rating system, use the comments, argue with the people in the comments if you want to, make response videos if you want to, share it on social media if you want to, but do not attempt to have it removed from YouTube, because although what this person is saying disgusts me on a visceral level, I refuse to attempt to silence him, or to condone any action taken in an attempt to silence him. Adam, we in the free speech camp are better than you, and we win when you're able to show the world just how bad your ideas are. In other words, in my opinion, you're fighting our battles for us. Thank you.
Even if anyone disrespects any other religion, Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, anything, any religion, that's just really disrespectful. So I suggest you guys, anyone who's watching, report that video.
The Holy Trinity? But that makes no sense. Sew his lips shut!
I, Adam Saleh, am requesting an apology video from this dude to all Muslims around the world. I'm requesting an apology video from that kid.
Okay, and I'm requesting an apology video from you to everyone around the world who doesn't agree with the unfair protection of some ideas and the unfair suppression of others. And now we can both sit around waiting patiently for things we're not gonna get.
I don't know, us Muslims will react in a positive way to him.
Did you see my 23-minute video scrolling through all those death threats and insults and demands for censorship that your Muslim audience left on his video? Neither your reaction nor theirs is positive in any way whatsoever. You're all terrible people. Fuck you.
Thank you so much. I love you. Peace. I love you.
So, now that I've gone through your whole video, I've noticed something a little bit weird. The title of your video calls Amos a racist. And yet, no part of his video had any mention of race at all. So what race are you claiming that he's racist against? Asian people, black people, white people, what? Please inform us, because it'd be really fascinating to know. But until then, fuck the Quran, which is not a race. Fuck Islam, which is not a race. But right now, most of all, fuck you. And you're not a race either.